In October of 2021, another municipal water crisis in Michigan began to make national headlines. We went to Benton Harbor with MLive environmental reporter Garrett Ellison, who's been tracking the story.
So we're at the Southwest Michigan Community Action Agency, where people in Benton Harbor are driving through, picking up cases of bottled water, tossing them in their back seat or the trunk of their car and taking them home because the city is under an advisory for high levels of lead in their water. Well, right now, nobody in Benton Harbor is supposed to be drinking anything out of the tap, using tap water for cooking or mixing infant baby formula. You know, any consumptive uses are essentially, people are being told, use bottled water for that.
Benton Harbor's water problems aren't new this year. The city's water first tested high for lead in 2018.
And so since then, it's been continual action level exceedances through every consecutive round of testing here in Benton Harbor.
The federal action level for lead in drinking water is 15 parts per billion. In the wake of the Flint water crisis, the state of Michigan has adopted an even lower standard of 12 parts per billion. But some homes in Benton Harbor have far exceeded those maximums.
Some individual homes have lead levels that are in the hundreds, 100 to 400 to 600 to 889 parts per billion. There was a home here in Benton Harbor this year that had that level of lead in its drinking waters.
And then it makes you wonder, all these people that died, heart attacks, because when I read up on what lead do, high blood pressure and stuff like that, I'm like, man.
Third world nation, Benton Harbor, Michigan, third world nation. We got to use bottled water. We can't drink the water. You can't bathe with the water. You can't cook with the water. You can't wash your hands with the water.
Since 2018, the state has provided water filters to residents. But when the state announced on October 6th that residents should use bottled water, many here were still surprised.
Since October 6th, it's been a pretty high-profile response. It's been a lot of news crews in Benton Harbor. There's been a lot of questions being asked, and that's a status that's going to probably continue for quite a while.
Benton Harbor has always drawn its drinking water from Lake Michigan. But the problem isn't the source water. It's the aging lead service lines connecting water mains to homes. Corrosion control additives can keep lead from getting into the drinking water, but in Benton Harbor, they've only been used for the last couple years.
The city of Benton Harbor only started using corrosion control in 2019 after that first exceedance for lead in 2018. And so, since then, the state of Michigan's been trying to get this, started adding corrosion control, tweaking, the formula and the blend. And the point of adding corrosion control is to put a chemical in the water that coats the inside of those lead pipes and prevents the toxic, metal there from flaking off and leaching into the tap water.
Despite these measures, the city's lead levels haven't declined.
So right now, the state of Michigan is pledging to get all of Benton Harbor's lead service lines dug up out of the ground and replaced by April 2023. That's essentially 18 months from now. That's a tall order. And it remains to be seen if that can actually be done. They're saying it's going to cost about $30 million to do. And so far they have secured about $18.6 million of that effort. And so there's a lot of discussion right now in Lansing as to where the rest of the money is going to come from, how much is needed. And amidst that discussion, there is definitely talk of, who is to blame for this. At Great Lakes Now, we aim to cover the Great Lakes region and the people who live here, like you. Please follow us on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for our newsletter at greatlakesnow.org.